come to my office anytime. We have a squirrel down there that's waiting for you.
And, my heart is pinned on my heart.
Clint Eastwood, the epitome of a Hollywood cool, has had a love life as illustrious as his career. But how did Clint, amidst his skyrocketing Hollywood success, manage to find love time and again? Don't skip this video. We unravel the tales behind each of his stunning ex-wives. Clint's impressive career spanned decades, filled with unforgettable roles and iconic films. And amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, he found genuine connections with these remarkable women. From Maggie Johnson, his first wife, to Dina Eastwood and beyond, each woman brought her unique charm to Clint's world. Imagine this: Clint Eastwood, the iconic tough guy of Hollywood, not in front of a camera but on a blind date in early 1953. Yep, that's how it all began for him and his first wife, Margaret Neville Maggie Johnson, in the San Francisco area. Maggie wasn't a starlet or a model. She was a secretary at Industria American, dealing with auto parts, and a senior at UC Berkeley. What a humble beginning to a legendary romance. Fast forward to October of the same year, and Maggie drops the bombshell: they're engaged. Just 2 months later, in a whirlwind of romance, they tie the knot in Pasadena. But hold on to your hats, folks. This love story isn't all sunshine and roses. Sure, they had a couple of adorable kids together, son Kyle Eastwood in 1968 and daughter Allison Eastwood in 1972. But behind the scenes, things were far from perfect. Clint Eastwood himself admitted that they were just too young and not quite settled enough to handle the pressures of marriage. By late 1978, cracks started showing and Maggie decided to take the first step towards separation. It wasn't until 1984, however, that the divorce papers were signed and sealed. And boy, did those papers come with a hefty price tag. Now, let's talk numbers. Maggie walked away from the marriage with a cool $25 to $30 million. Yep, you read that right. That's the cost of love lost in Hollywood, folks. But hey, with great fortune comes great freedom, right? Despite the ups and downs of their relationship, Clint Eastwood and Maggie Johnson left behind a legacy that goes beyond dollar signs. Their children, Kyle and Allison, have carved their own paths in the world, ensuring that the Eastwood name continues to shine bright in Tinseltown. After the fail of the first marriage, Eastwood stumbled upon his second matrimonial adventure when he found himself in the hot seat of an interview with TV anchor Dina Eastwood back in April 1993. The sparks flew, or so the tale goes. No one can quite pinpoint when the love bug struck, but tongues wagged when Eastwood, old enough to be her father twice over, paraded Ruiz, a good 3.5 decades his junior, around fancy golf tournaments in 1995. Come January 1996, they decided to silence the gossip mill by declaring their intention to tie the knot. And tie it they did, just 2 short months later, in a surprise ceremony that Eastwood sprang on Ruiz like a rabbit out of a magician's hat, right there on the verdant lawns of the Shadow Creek Golf Course in Sin City, no less. A fitting setting, one might say, for a union that seemed more like a stroke of luck than a carefully plotted course. But as they say, all good things must come to an end, and by the time 2013 rolled around, Ruiz had had enough of playing the dutiful spouse. She let the world know, in no uncertain terms, that she and Eastwood had been leading separate lives for a spell, though she remained tight-lipped about the particulars. In a move that surprised few, she eventually took the plunge and filed for divorce, citing the classic irreconcilable differences as the culprit. Oh, but she didn't stop there. No, she wanted the whole enchilada: full custody of their teenage daughter and a nice chunk of change to keep the wolf from the door. By the time the ink dried on the divorce papers in 2014, it seemed the only thing left of their union was the shared custody of their memories, and perhaps a lesson or two about the perils of marrying in haste and repenting at leisure. But few people expected that Clint Eastwood is the master of both "I do" and "I love you" lines, with a track record longer than the credits of one of his movies. His romantic escapades could probably fill a screenplay or two. Now, let's talk numbers. How many girlfriends has Clint Eastwood had? Well, let's just say trying to count them is like trying to count all the bullets fired in his spaghetti westerns. It's just too many to keep track of. Officially, there were 5 main squeezes during his 2 marriages. But hey, who's counting, right? Oh, right, we are. 4 of them even had names, while one poor soul remained shrouded in mystery. And let's not forget the whispers of flings sprinkled in between, like deleted scenes from his personal life. But hold your popcorn, there's more drama. Before Eastwood walked down the aisle with his first wife, Maggie Johnson, he was already making headlines with another lady. This unnamed leading lady even had a starring role in his life, getting pregnant and all. But the plot twist: the child was given up for adoption without Clint even knowing he had a mini-me out there. It wasn't until 2018, during the premiere of Eastwood's film The Mule, that their daughter was publicly identified. Lori Murray, born February 11, 1954, was adopted by Clyde and Helen Warren of Seattle. According to her son, Lowell Thomas Murray IV, his biological grandmother never told Eastwood that she was pregnant and never spoke to him after the affair. Lori was actually surprised when she began looking into her biological parents and found out that Eastwood was her father. That's not all. The unnamed young woman wasn't Clint's only dance partner in the adultery waltz during his marriage to Johnson. Nope, during the swinging 50s, while Clint was lassoing cattle on Rawhide. He decided to rope and stunt to a man, and actress Roxanne Tunis for a little extracurricular action. Now, Roxanne wasn't just any old fling, she was already hitched, albeit separated, adding some spicy drama to the mix. And wouldn't you know it, their on-set romance produced a little bundle of joy named Kimber in '64. But sheesh, it was a secret kept tighter than Clint's squint until the tabloids blew the lid off the whole affair in '89. But wait, there's more scandal to unpack. Apparently, Clint's Hollywood buddies were gossiping about Kimber like it was the latest box office hit. Even guest stars like Barbara Eden from Rawhide had something to say, hinting that Clint and Johnson's marriage was about as open as a 24-hour convenience store. And let's not forget Clint's pearls of wisdom from a '71 interview, where he basically shrugged off the whole idea of monogamy like it was yesterday's news. Who needs togetherness when you've got a leading man like Clint Eastwood, right? So grab your popcorn, folks, cause this love triangle's got more twists and turns than a spaghetti western. The tangled web of Clint's love life continues to weave its melodramatic magic. While still legally bound to Johnson, Clint decided to play house with actress Sondra Locke during the filming of The Outlaw Josie Wales in Scenic Page, Arizona. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Both Clint and Sondra were trapped in marriages that were about as fulfilling as a cardboard sandwich. Clint, ever the charmer, claimed there was about as much spark between him and Johnson as there is between a rock and a hard place. Meanwhile, Sondra was hitched to her best buddy Gordon, who wasn't exactly eyeing her up for romance, if you catch my drift. Their arrangement? A marriage of convenience was so dry it could make the Sahara look like a water park. Not only was it never consummated, but it seemed more like a business merger than a love affair. But hey, who needs traditional romance when you can have a partnership as snug as two puzzle pieces, right? Clint even serenaded Sondra with a little ditty he wrote called "She Made Me Monogamous," a title that's about as believable as a unicorn sighting in Hollywood. And let's not forget the cherry on top, 2 aborted missions to Babyville and tubal ligation for Sondra, just to seal the deal on their non-existent family plans. Ah, love in Tinseltown, where even the failures are worthy of a blockbuster script. Hold on, the soap opera saga of Clint and Sondra takes another dramatic turn. While playing house with Sondra Locke, Clint wasn't exactly a one-woman man. Nope, he was juggling more relationships than a circus clown, all while keeping up appearances with Sondra. But as they say, all good things must come to an end, or in this case, a messy disintegration. Clint finally cut ties with Johnson, but Sondra was still hitched to her buddy Gordon. And here's where it gets real juicy. Sondra was ready to throw in the towel on her marriage for a shot at couples therapy with Clint. But surprise, surprise, Clint wasn't exactly eager to hop on the therapy bandwagon. So what happens next? Cue the fireworks of a Hollywood breakup. Locks changed, belongings vanished, it was a palimony lawsuit waiting to happen. Sondra didn't hold back, suing Clint for a piece of the pie in '89. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, they're back in court in '95 duking it out over fraud allegations. Ah, the sweet symphony of love and litigation in La La Land. It's enough to make you swear off relationships and stick to watching rom-coms instead. But hey, at least Clint and Sondra gave us plenty of material for the next big blockbuster. Let's add another chapter to the book of Clint's love exploits, shall we? Meet Jacelyn Reeves, the flight attendant who soared into Clint's heart while he was still shacked up with Sondra Locke. Their affair was as hush-hush as a CIA operation until the Star tabloid blew the lid off the whole thing in '90. And wouldn't you know it, they weren't just swapping love letters, they were busy playing the parenthood game, popping out not one, but 2 little Eastwoods, Scott and Catherine, in '86 and '88 respectively. But wait, there's more. Enter Frances Fisher, the leading lady who caught Clint's eye on the set of Pink Cadillac in '88. Their romance was about as exclusive as a Walmart sale on again, off again, with more drama than a soap opera. Despite sharing a daughter, Francesca, born in '93, the sparks fizzled out faster than a damp firework thanks to some issues on Clint's end. And just like that, it was curtains for Frances and Clint in '95. With all those women, is it enough for you to feel impressed with Clint Eastwood? Take your time, there are still many things behind this video waiting for you to discover. But first, please like the video and subscribe to our channel before watching the next part of the video. And now let's continue the story of Clint Eastwood. Well, it seems Clint Eastwood was quite the busy bee when it came to matters of the heart, or maybe we should say matters of the bedroom. Let's take a stroll down memory lane, shall we? Back in '55, during the filming of Star in the Dust, Clint found himself tangled up with actress Mamie Van Doren. While she was the star of the show, Clint played a supporting role in her life, and probably in more ways than one, if you catch my drift. Then there's Anita Lois, the competitive swimmer who dipped her toes into Clint's pool of affection during the late '50s to early '60s. Rumor has it, she even had a little surprise package for Clint, but she decided to handle that situation solo. Talk about making waves in Clint's love life. Fast forward to the swinging '70s, and Clint's got a hot date with restaurant critic Gail Green, who probably gave him 5 stars for his performance both on and off the screen. But wait, there's a whole cast of leading ladies in Clint's romantic repertoire. Co-stars like Inger Stevens, Jean Seberg, and Joanne Harris couldn't resist the Eastwood charm, even if it was just for a scene or two. And let's not forget the Hollywood beauties who fell under Clint's spell: Jill Banner, Catherine Deneuve, and Susan St. James, just to name a few. Oh, and let's throw in a singer, a columnist, and a socialite for good measure, because why settle for one type when you can have the whole buffet? Now you know Clint Eastwood, the original heartbreaker of Hollywood, leaving a trail of broken hearts and swooning fans in his wake. Who needs a leading lady when you've got a whole harem of admirers, right? Take a look back. Eastwood went back to his habitual womanizing in the early 1980s. It seems Clint Eastwood's womanizing ways were like an old habit he just couldn't kick, especially in the early 80s. Let's break down his little black book, shall we? First up, we've got story analyst Megan Rose, followed by actress Jamie Rose and animal rights activist Jane Brolin. Clint sure had a tight brains, beauty, and a passion for saving the planet. But wait, there's more. After calling it quits with Sondra Locke, Clint dove headfirst into the dating pool, making quite the splash with some big names. From the legendary Barbra Streisand to co-star Marisa Berenson, Carmel Mayer Jean Grace, actress Donnie Crane, and model Barbara Minty Clint was casting his net far and wide. And let's not forget the lovely ladies who caught Clint's eye after his split with Dina Ruiz. Photographer Erica Tomlinson Fisher, no relation to former Flame Frances Fisher, and restaurant hostess Christina Sandera were just two more names added to his ever-growing list of conquests. However, after a string of high-profile romances, Clint seems to have found his match in Sandera, whom he's been quietly dating since 2014. Despite his larger-than-life persona, Clint keeps his relationship with Sandera under wraps, preferring to keep his personal life out of the spotlight. The couple reportedly crossed paths when Sandera was working at Clint's Mission Ranch Hotel in Carmel by the Sea, California, adding a touch of serendipity to their love story. Clint's stance on privacy is crystal clear when it comes to matters of the heart. He's not one to spill the beans. In a rare moment of candor back in 2004, he told CBS News that he's fiercely protective of the people he cares about, understanding the vulnerability that comes with being in the public eye. So, while the world may speculate and gossip about Clint's love life, one thing's for sure: when it comes to matters of love, Clint Eastwood plays his cards close to his chest, ensuring that the ones he loves remain shielded from prying eyes. Christina Sandera, the mystery woman who captured Clint Eastwood's heart, first entered his orbit while working as a hostess at his very own Mission Ranch Hotel. Clint's owned the place since '86, turning it into a lavish retreat after a hefty renovation investment. Despite being a regular presence at the ranch, Clint's not exactly the life of the party, as he confessed to Architectural Digest in 2016, preferring his solitude over socializing. As for Christina, she's like a ghost in the Hollywood scene, rarely seen and even less heard of. Apart from her connection to Eastwood, she keeps a low profile, steering clear of the social media circus. And Clint? Well, he's always been one to shy away from the spotlight, opting instead for the quiet coastal life in Carmel by the Sea, California. Fun fact, he even served as the town's mayor at one point. Talk about blending into the scenery. So while the world may clamor for more details about Clint's leading lady, it seems the couple is content living their lives far from the glare of Hollywood's bright lights, basking in the tranquility of their coastal retreat. Despite their blossoming romance, Clint Eastwood has remained tight-lipped about his relationship with Christina Sandera. However, their love story couldn't stay hidden forever. In a rare public outing, Clint proudly brought Sandera as his date to the 2015 Oscars, where his film American Sniper was up for a whopping 6 awards, including Best Picture. It was their debut as a couple on the red carpet, marking a significant milestone in their journey together. But even before their glamorous Oscar appearance, eagle-eyed paparazzi caught the pair out and about, doing something as mundane as grocery shopping back in June 2014. Those candid snaps, courtesy of the Daily Mail, were the first hint of their budding romance sneaking into the public eye. Since then, Sandera has become a regular fixture by Eastwood's side at various events, particularly those related to his films. In 2016, they graced the red carpet together at a screening of Eastwood's movie Sully at the Directors Guild of America. And in 2017, they jetted off to the prestigious Cannes Film Festival, proving that their love knows no bounds or borders. While Clint may prefer to keep his personal life under wraps, it's clear that when it comes to Sandera, he's more than happy to share the spotlight. And who can blame him? When you've got a love like theirs, it's worth celebrating, even if it means stepping out of the shadows every once in a while. Clint Eastwood has been notoriously tight-lipped about his personal life, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. However, back in 1983, during his long-term relationship with Sondra Locke, he hinted at his skepticism about tying the knot again. After a failed first marriage, Clint confessed to People magazine, saying, "I've had one marriage that didn't work, and I don't know if I'd want to do that again." Despite Clint's reservations about remarriage, Christina Sandera seems to have found her place within the Eastwood clan. In 2018, she stood proudly by Clint's side at the premiere of his film The Mule, surrounded by his entire family, including 3 of his children, his granddaughter, and even his first wife. It's a testament to the bond they share and the acceptance Sandera has found within the Eastwood fold. And when it comes to celebrating milestones like Clint's 90th birthday in May 2020, it's all about keeping it low-key for the legendary actor. As his son Scott Eastwood revealed to Access Hollywood, the family planned a quiet, intimate gathering, knowing Clint's aversion to birthdays. But of course, they couldn't resist sneaking in a cake even if Clint protested. After all, what's a birthday without a little sweetness, right? Now, let's hear from the man himself. What does Clint Eastwood have to say about his past marriages and his current relationship with Christina Sandera? Clint Eastwood confessed, life's a journey. And along the way, you meet incredible people who become part of your story. As for my previous marriages, well, they were chapters in my life that taught me a lot. And Christina, she's a special lady. We're just enjoying each other's company, taking things one day at a time. So how about the other women? Once he had spoken about Sondra Locke. According to Bill Brown, publisher of the Carmel Pinecone, Eastwood considered Locke the love of his life, yet he has never addressed her death. Until now, publicity still has not heard anything he says about other women throughout his love life. Moreover, like his personal life, Clint Eastwood has had a similarly long and varied career. Let's reminisce a bit with us from the beginning. Eastwood stood at the edge of the world, the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean stretching endlessly before him. The salty breeze tousled his hair as memories of his past danced through his mind like ghosts from another life. Born into a world of shifting sands, Eastwood's childhood was a tapestry woven with threads of adventure and rebellion. From the moment he drew his first breath in the bustling heart of San Francisco, destiny seemed to carve a path as unpredictable as the ocean currents. His mother, Ruth, a woman of quiet strength and resilience, guided him through the turbulent waters of youth. After the untimely departure of his father, Clinton Sr., Ruth remarried, finding solace and stability in the arms of John Belden Wood. Yet, amidst the changing tides of family life, Eastwood remained anchored by his sister John, a beacon of light in the darkest of storms. As the years unfurled like sails catching wind, Eastwood found himself adrift in a sea of opportunity and uncertainty. Despite the comforts of his affluent upbringing in Piedmont, California, the call of adventure beckoned him beyond the horizon. His academic pursuits were overshadowed by a restless spirit, drawn to the allure of the unknown. High school proved to be a tempestuous journey, marked by youthful indiscretions and a longing for freedom. Expelled from Piedmont High School for a daring act of rebellion, Eastwood set sail for Oakland Technical High School, a new port of call in his quest for self-discovery. Amidst the chaos of adolescence, Eastwood sought refuge in the simplicity of honest work. From lifeguarding on the shores of Fort Ord to braving the flames as a forest firefighter, he embraced each challenge with unwavering courage. Yet, it was his time in the United States Army that would shape him in ways he never imagined. Stationed at Fort Ord during the Korean War, Eastwood found himself thrust into a world of duty and honor. Though his days were spent guarding the shores of Northern California, the specter of combat loomed large in the hearts of his comrades. And when fate intervened in the form of a fateful flight over the ocean, Eastwood emerged from the wreckage with a newfound appreciation for the fragility of life. As the waves crashed against the rocky shore, Eastwood gazed out into the endless expanse, his heart heavy with the weight of the past. Yet, in the depths of his soul, he knew that beyond the horizon lay a future brimming with promise and possibility. Clint Eastwood's career is as legendary as it is diverse, spanning over 6 decades and encompassing roles both in front of and behind the camera. Eastwood's journey to stardom began with humble beginnings and a relentless drive for success. After a brief stint in the United States Army during the Korean War, Eastwood returned to civilian life with a determination to pursue his passion for acting. He landed his first significant role in the television series Rawhide, where his portrayal of the iconic character Rowdy Yates catapulted him into the spotlight. However, it was his collaboration with Italian filmmaker Sergio Leone in the Dollars trilogy A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that solidified Eastwood's status as a Hollywood icon. His portrayal of the enigmatic man with no name in these spaghetti western classics captured the imaginations of audiences worldwide and established him as the quintessential tough guy with a heart of gold. As the 1970s unfolded, Eastwood transitioned seamlessly into directing, proving his prowess behind the camera with films like Play Misty for Me and High Plains Drifter. His directorial debut, Play Misty for Me, showcased his ability to craft gripping thrillers with complex characters, a skill that would define much of his later work. Throughout the ensuing decades, Eastwood continued to leave an indelible mark on cinema, both as an actor and a director. His roles in films like Dirty Harry, Unforgiven, and $1 Million Baby showcased his versatility and range as an actor, earning him numerous awards and accolades, including multiple Academy Awards. In addition to his acting prowess, Eastwood's directorial efforts have garnered widespread acclaim for their emotional depth and thematic complexity. Films like Mystic River Letters from Iwo Jima and American Sniper demonstrate his ability to tackle a diverse range of subjects with sensitivity and insight. Today, Clint Eastwood stands as a living legend in the annals of Hollywood history, revered for his contributions to cinema and admired for his unwavering commitment to his craft. With a career spanning over 60 years and counting, his legacy continues to inspire generations of filmmakers and audiences alike, ensuring that his impact on the world of cinema will endure for years to come. Clint Eastwood's legendary career has undeniably been a driving force behind his whirlwind romances. As one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, Eastwood's charisma and magnetism have attracted admirers from all walks of life. From starlets to socialites, his status as a cinematic legend has opened doors to a world of romance and intrigue. As Eastwood effortlessly commanded the screen with his rugged charm and steely gaze, it's no wonder he became a symbol of masculinity and allure. His roles in classic films like Dirty Harry the Good, The Bad and the Ugly and Unforgiven solidified his status as a Hollywood icon, making him a household name around the globe. But it wasn't just his on-screen persona that captivated hearts. Eastwood's off-screen allure was equally magnetic. With his enigmatic aura and air of mystery, he became the epitome of the elusive leading man, leaving fans and admirers clamoring for a glimpse into his personal life. And while Eastwood himself may have remained tight-lipped about his romantic escapades, his larger-than-life presence in the entertainment industry undoubtedly paved the way for his whirlwind romances. Whether it was through chance encounters on film sets or chance meetings in everyday life, Eastwood's legendary career has left an indelible mark on the tapestry of his love life, weaving together a narrative as captivating as any Hollywood blockbuster. And there you have it, folks. The mesmerizing tale of Clint Eastwood's love life is filled with beauty, romance, and wisdom. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more captivating stories from the world of entertainment. Until next time, stay tuned.